Smith is the founder and CEO of Stellar Insight Incorporated, business growth, consulting, and coaching company. Brad has been a chemist, production plant and equipment designer, a business manager, a business consultant, and an executive coach for CEOs and business owners. Brad constantly pursues insights into business success, organizational excellence, and the practical actions it takes to consistently achieve significant business growth. In his words, everything is a theory until you experience it and can consciously repeat the experiment. He coaches CEOs, business owners, and legislators for organizational growth and excellence. He has worked extensively with a variety of industries for more than 25 years. And those companies who fully commit to the work almost always achieve significant results. Brad limits his work to ambitious, curious CEOs, business owners, and their teams who are committed to their company's excellence and growth. He also runs a program for deep intuition development for CEOs and R&D teams. Join me in welcoming Brad Smith to the stage as he shares with us stellar business insights.
We'll start off with a short story. Second grade, afternoon recess, Evansville, Indiana. It was hot, it was steamy, and I was outside, and the second grade boy, Steve Johnson, walks up and puts his fist into my abdomen right there. Looks me deeply in the eye because I stopped breathing. And he says, "Do you know what your initials stand for?" And he walks off. 3.5 minutes later, I walked back into the room, my homeroom, put my head down, sat down on my seat, and got my first real breath. I thought, well, this is the second grade. Did he mean bullshit? So I've done my very best to live. I've done my very best to live up to that ever since. Take myself seriously is not important. What's important is I take the people around me and seriously. At age 18, fall term freshman year, I developed an ulcerated colon. The doctor said to me when I finally got there in December, to talk to him, he said, "Gee, Brad," this is the quote, "Gee, Brad, if you'd have waited 6 weeks to come see me, you'd have bled to death." So he had my attention. And then he said, "You'll never eat strawberries, corn, or lettuce ever again in your life." My 18-year-old brain said, "Fat chance, buddy, that's not happening." And then he said to me, "You have a psychosomatic disease. Your emotions affect the severity of your symptoms." In that moment, as an 18-year-old, I made the commitment to conquer my disease. Stop the bleeding, stop the pain. And it was apparently dead disease. He told me the truth of that. But what I got to was understanding that I had to watch myself first. Study Brad as the beaker, if you would, which was in chemical engineering. So I was taking a lot of chemistry. Study Brad as the beaker. Study my emotions, get to know my emotions, and understand which one of those were the ones that were causing my bleeding. How did that translate then down into my body and give me the pain that I had? So in that process, I got to know Brad really well. I also got to know patterns in my behavior and the results that I created. I've been raised by a chemical engineer and a PhD in biochemistry who taught me cause and effect, which means that if there's a cause, in this case my disease, there has to be a cause. And so the result is cause and effect happens. He also started 34 companies as I was growing up. And I got to watch him as every one of those stories came to pass, and 30 of them failed, but 44 of them succeeded. And when we got around to evolving my career, I got down to the place where I'd done analytical chemistry, I'd done formulation chemistry, and I got presented with the idea of an executive coach, a business coach. So I took training from Coach University, and then I realized, oh, I have an MBA, a bachelor's in business management, I've got years of technical experience, I could coach CEOs, I could coach business executives. So as I work with executives, what I've learned is every one of them shows up in their job completely unaware of the deepest set of causes that they're creating either success or not success. So the first thing I look at is I look at their business model, but I also listen and carefully watch who they are as a person. I listen to how that affects their executive team and how effective their executive team is. I also look at who's taking responsibility and how those things filter out into what they're accomplishing. My goal, of course, with each one of them is to take each one of them, take them from their current situation and help them double their revenue and their revenue growth rate in the first year, if not the first 18 months. And then from there progress on to where we've added double their growth rate and then increase their income where they've added zero. I've done it. When I did that the first time, I'm going, it just happened about 10 years ago. I'm like, oh, this does work. And so I managed to do that. So some of the things that I've learned, some of the key insights that I've learned is almost all of them don't have enough time when I first talk to them. What's your biggest issue? Well, I don't have enough time. And I don't have enough time. Okay? So what I learned in that is, if they don't have enough time, it means there's things they're doing they have no business doing. So I have an exercise I have them go through. First exercise, you write this down. I call this the plate exercise. Write down everything that you do in a month and chunk it off into blocks of time. Spend this much time doing this much time doing this much time doing this. And then we're going to figure out what's the cheapest of those things that you have no business doing that you need to delegate. And does it add up to 10 or 15 or 20 hours a month or a week, right? And then I help them figure out can they afford to offload this 20-hour block a week or this 5-hour block a week. And so they delegate. Key first skill is out of the plate exercise, they get a delegation list. And out of the delegation list, they get a hiring list. And that leads us to the next insight. The next insight that people say is, I don't have enough talent. I have trouble attracting it. I have trouble keeping it, retaining it in the business. So then we go down to how do we build. Most businesses have a sales pipeline, what's in the paid pipeline and coming to them in the way of business. Almost none of them have a talent pipeline. So we build out a talent pipeline and help them figure out how to attract the proper personnel. In the hiring process, everybody starts with, these are the skills that I need to hire. And I back them up and say, first when you're building out a position, start with the results you need. Build a list of the results. Then build out a list of the tasks that need to be done in order to create the results. And then, out of that, build your skills list. That's the first three. The fourth list that I ask them to look at is, what's the character of the person who most easily would achieve those results and then grow into the culture of the company? So they have to look at themselves first and build out a list of what's important for me as a person. And I have them do a third exercise, which is, who am I and what are my values? What's important to me and what's not important to me? And how does that then reflect in my business? So that piece goes with the character list piece. And then the fifth list is a list of things that the person needs to learn in order to get to a level 10 in that job. And then the gap between who they are right now when they're interviewing them and what they need to be and what they can achieve. And if someone comes in, as this is the education process, if someone comes in as a level 7 for a particular job, you can grow them to 9, maybe 9.5. They come company of 5, you can't grow them beyond maybe a 7 or 7 or 8. People just don't evolve that far. So in the process of growing people, they go from task doer to a task designer to then a job designer and an organizational designer. And in that process, I help them grow their organization to grow the capacity of it in the process of getting more clients. Most people think I need to get more customers or clients in order to get more cash, in order to grow the company. If they take the talent that they have in the company, whatever size it is, and they get them more enthusiastic and inspired, that's the process that they need to grow up in, is the difference between a manager, someone that tells someone what to do, and a leader is someone who inspires people to do more. And if I help someone go from being a manager to a leader, then they've got more energy in the company, and as a result of that, they wind up with happier employees and more gets done. It's getting more done with less, right? Almost everybody approaches problems from the analytical mind. Look at a problem, they have certain habits for that, and so the whole character trait of who they are, if you stop and back up and look at it, I'll start way back. One of the things that I learned, watching myself and growing myself out of my colitis, it took me about a year to stop the bleeding. It took me about 2.5 years to get the pain subside down. And it took another 20 years to get to the place where I recognized particular events that put it in place initially. But in that process of learning about myself, I learned how to build my character from the core up. Watch who I am, watch how kind I was, how not kind I was, how when I was strong, I needed to be strong, and build that process up. And so what I help my clients do is to learn who they are, how to be more effective, and then how to grow the culture of their company in addition to just themselves or their executive team. So if you grow culture in the company, and you grow capacity, if you grow focus and the organizational chart to kind of match what goes on with the business and the volume of business they're doing, then eventually everybody gets to the place where things are more efficient. There is a process underneath everything. I teach my clients this, how to go from just using the analytical mind, words and numbers, sharp edges, dissection, analytical mind, my hand on the podium here, and I can pull off the difference between where the hand is and where the podium is. So that's the subtraction part of the analytical mind. The intuitive mind is a concept synthesis engine. It takes a concept from here, a concept from here, a concept from when I was 3, and it pulls them together, and it presents me with the option of that as a solution. So it's a concept engine for invention and strategic planning. Intuition is required. So this is another skill that I teach my clients as I'm working with them. All of these are important things to remember. Who you are makes a difference. The talent that you hire makes a difference. How you draw people in and inspire them makes a difference. And all of these bring energy to the organization to achieve higher success and greater capacity. Growth happens in business in a spiral. You start out at one place, and you think, oh, this is a product or a service that I can offer my customers, and they'll buy it. This is, okay, an opportunity for me to delegate, and I have just enough money to do that. You spiral around and you add more capacity and more products, and as you grow up, you touch all 5 pieces of the organization, which is production, finance, research and development, sales and marketing, and personnel. those 5 pieces get touched in every one of those 5 pieces. As you go through and touch each one, the organization gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But you have to touch each one and make sure you're managing and working with all 5 of these. As you grow a company, everything of who you are makes a difference. If you're a company organizer or a starter, who you are makes a difference. And who the company is makes a difference. It's what attracts the customers. Thank you very
BowmanDigitalMedia.com